They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now a second down throw for Mariota. Underneath here to Hill. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Mariota now. On the right side, caught by Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out.
And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Mariota. A dump off now to Hill. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tyreek Hill from 17 yards out. And the Falcons have broken our tie.
And there's the go-ahead touchdown, and so likely we'll kick an extra point. But to me, I'm looking forward. Special teams now with your kickoff, and then your defense, that's where the pressure shifts.
Yeah, because there's plenty of time left on that clock. Anytime you're over a minute in the NFL, there's a chance. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. He'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Williams loses the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no. And another timeout taken by the Colts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So it's third and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Halfback sent in motion. Mariota to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back to base. They'll look to throw. On the crossing route, that's complete to Clark. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this